ahead and work through this together, and then you can do things independently as well. If you ever need to pause to work on some things or to slow down, you may. If you need to rewind or move ahead a little bit, you're welcome to do that as well. Just make sure you're following expectations and that you understand things. If you need help with something later, please let me know. I'm happy to help. Just a heads up, this side of things for breaking apart is really sort of simple. We wouldn't typically use breaking apart for a problem so simple. We would just know the facts and do it. This side of things is a better example of when you would use break apart to do mental math. So like we talked about in our example the day before. So let's go ahead and just revisit the example we did using the Pattern Blocks app. We talked about how this 1 isn't really a 1, that it's actually a 10 and a 4. So we have 5 times 10 and 5 times 4. They just put them together as 14 though. So you created that image on the app, and we determined that 5 times 14 is the same as, in parentheses, 5 times 10 plus 5 times 4. So that's how that would look. Okay, so let's go over to this more simple side here, because you may be asked to represent or break apart something, even if it is a simple basic fact problem. So let's be able to do this. It shouldn't take you very long because they are small. So if we can't break something up in a nice number like 10 because it's such a simple basic fact, then you're just going to pick something else. 5 is nice. You can really pick anything you want. So just remember that this number is what's going down the left side, the 5 groups, and the 7 is what's across. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when we break apart things, we're going to go ahead and break them apart this way. So this 5 is what's going to be constant within your 2 parentheses. So this 5 times 7, I could break that off at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this. And then you have to visualize the insides. So I have a 5 by 5 plus this piece here, which is 5 down and 2 across. 5 by 2. So let's look back at how this looks. You have a 5 by 5 and a 5 by 2. And you can see how if you put the 5 and 2 together, it does create that 7 across, just like we see here. Okay, so if drawing a quick picture helps you, great. You don't need to, though. Okay, so 3 times 9, think about what might be nice and easy. I'm going to go ahead and do 5 again. So you should just be doing this with me. Oops, sorry, it's 3 times 5. So 3 times 5, and then just think about what's left over. So you count on up, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 3 times 4. And so just to double check, 3 times 5 is 15, and 3 times 4 is 12. And then you have 15 plus 12 is the same thing as 27. Okay. All right, so down here, 8 times 6. Let's see, we can do, maybe I'll just cut 6 in half and do 8 times 3 plus this other one, 8 times 3. Okay, and then pause and go ahead and try this one, and then unpause it and see if you did something similar or at least something that works. Okay, so here's what I did. I thought, well, maybe instead of 5, maybe I'll just cut it in half completely. So you get to make those decisions. You could do 7 times 5 plus, in parentheses, 7 times 3, or I'm just going to do 7 times 4 plus 7 times 4. So there's lots of different options you can do if you want. They're all going to create the same thing as long as you broke it apart and chopped that down vertically, and make sure you spread that out. All right, so let's go ahead over to here. Okay, we're going to do 7 and 8 together, and then I'm going to have you do number 6 and represent it in the Pattern app, and then upload that to Seesaw. So let's take care of number 7 first. So 3 times 13, think in your head, this 1 isn't really a 1. What is it? Good if you said it. And this is actually a 3. So we can say 3 times 13 is the same as, in parentheses, 3 times 10 plus 3 times 3. Okay, so we're just breaking apart the 2 digits. Okay, same thing down here. What's this 1 actually? It's not really a 1. What's its value? Good if you said it. And the 6 is 6 ones. So we can do 2 times 10 and 2 times 6 and break them apart. There you go. Okay. So just out of curiosity, if you want to try something like this, you could do something like 4 times 36, and you could try something like that out and show me later. Okay, same concept, but that's not going to be worth a 3. It's going to be worth something different. So you could mess around with that if you want, but you don't need to. That would be optional. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about number 6, and then after you're going to pause this at a certain point, and then you'll come back to this and complete this show and explain. Okay, so the show and explain, it says 2 kids are working on painting a wall mural. A mural is like a painting made out of squares, and everyone does their own square. So it's made up of 1-foot squares. The wall is 5 foot high and 12 feet wide. Draw a picture of the wall. So that's your first task, using squares. Then draw a line showing where you should split up the work. So that's number 2. Next, number 3, write an equation that would show how the 2 kids could break up the work into 2 sections. So you're going to actually draw the 5 by 12 array like we did on the app and model each of these steps, 1, 2, and 3, just in written form without technology. And then I want you to explain in written form, why does your equation equal 5 times 12? Okay, so you should be having 2 sets of parentheses here like this. And I want you to explain, why does your equation on this side equal the same thing as this? Okay, so you're going to have to do that in words. All right, let's go up to here and you can get working on your iPad in a moment. So I want you to go to the pattern app, and just like we did yesterday, if you need reminded, go to your camera roll and hit play from that screen recording we did. I want you to create a 5 going down by 18 across of those tile blocks. And I want you to actually represent 5 by 18. I want you to break it apart into 2 separate expressions. And I want you to use that equation button on the app to label all your pieces. Then you'll go ahead and do the screen recording and explain your work and things like that to me. And then go ahead and officially write your answer on this line. Okay? And then you can get this done at any point too, and then you're all set with this. Let's go ahead, when you're all done with this, put it on one of the desk tables, and we'll collect that for me to look at tomorrow.